Welcome to Digital Shoptalk. I think this is episode 24, another famous 24, Darrelle Revis, one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time, but I digress. We're going to jump right into the news today. There's been a lot of changes in Google, particularly around paid ads. I think that's kind of what we want to focus on. So
yeah, about a week or so ago, Google said, guess what? No more right rail ads. And there's been a lot of chatter around why and impact and those sorts of things. Kind of bottom line is Google does what they want and you have to react to it.
Pretty much.
At the end of the day, though, it's likely going to increase some competition at those top spots. Because if you're not in top 4, you're on page 2.
Yep.
And kind of those right rail ads had actually shown some pretty decent performance over the years. So people are saying, oh, Google's doing this to increase CPCs and competition and this, that, the other. Who knows what their motivation is behind that. As you as a search marketer, what you need to know is, A, pay attention to what's going on, but B, the long tail, the query universe that we've talked about time and time again here becomes even more important. If you are still relying on broad match and high volume, high cost terms, keep doing it because we're going to kick your butt in paid search. Paid search is about winning, and you can be really bad at it. And there's a lot of people that are, and thank you because it allows us to win. So right rail, Google, pay attention, figure it out. Make sure your SEO is top notch. Make sure your long tail is dialed in.
Yep. Lots of change. I mean, there's probably going to be lots of implications going forward, even from, like you said, SEO, from local map listings, things of that nature is kind of those.
Yep.
There's more ad space above the fold on desktop and mobile. Obviously, a big part of this was the mobile kind of integrating in terms of KPIs and performance metrics behind the scenes too. But to your point, Google does what they want, and we kind of adapt, so we're going to continue to do that. So stick with us over the coming weeks, and we'll update you as we kind of learn more throughout the process. So this week in the toolbox, we talked a lot about changes in Google. One big thing that we do as search marketers is obviously measure performance behind the scenes, whether that's in Google or anything else. Hot thing right now in terms of the tech world, particularly when it comes to retail digital marketing, is kind of quantifying ROI for foot traffic, right?
Sure.
And the explosion in tech is kind of exactly that. It's blowing up.
Right, so there's been a gap, right? So you do something online, search, display, Facebook, whatever the case is, does it actually drive folks into the store? And just over the last couple of weeks, there's been a huge explosion of tech releases. I think highlighted by Foursquare with their attribution modeling. We have this thing called Validate 360, Goodway Group, AdTheorent, XAd, Exalate, PlaceIQ, which just got a ton of money. All these folks are trying to make that last mile connection, right? So how do we attribute digital to retail? And so if you are a multi-location, if you're a retailer, it's important to pay attention to these trends. There's so much out there right now that's a little bit confusing, and trying to maybe let the dust settle and see what actually works. Here at Location3, one of our core strengths is local listings management, so making sure that your map is set up properly, and the data that we're able to provide is how many people went to your map listing and clicked on driving directions? How many people went to your map listing and called? So while they're not perfect, while we're not looking at a beacon or a Foursquare location and that sort of thing, it certainly is directional. So there's some information that's out there right now that you can grab, but definitely let's pay attention to these technologies. The other thing I wanted to mention from a toolkit perspective is Google just released what they're calling Auto Track. So basically, if you wanted to track things that were somebody clicks on a form that goes off site, or there was an event registration or something like that, there was a lot of custom JavaScript that had to be written. And so you either needed to hire an analytics expert like us, or outsource it, or get a programmer, and it was just pretty complicated. So this is our plugins that you can include right now. So if you don't have custom scripting in your analytics, but you have some things that you want to track that you can't, look at Google Auto Track. It's new, but it looks really easy, and could and should provide you with a lot more insights into kind of everything that's going on.
So kind of a quick takeaway before you jump into all the hot attribution tech, you kind of need to set up your tracking from the get-go and close the loop there.
Yeah, so totally.
Fantastic.
And we're back for the upvote.
Upvote time.
Josh, it's basketball season.
It is. March Madness
What's
is
your
coming
team?
up. Syracuse, baby. Hopefully they make it. They're a bubble team right now.
Terps, baby, all the way. This is the year. Mellow Trimble.
Speaking of Terps, your upvote, big Maryland plug, UnderArmour.
Yeah, so UnderArmour, you may have heard of them, based out of Baltimore.
Based out of Baltimore.
Strong Maryland ties. They've launched a lot of new campaigns with Droga5, who is a great agency. I actually just had dinner with the CMO of Droga5 this weekend.
Very nice.
Up in Vail.
Yeah,
I hope he's feeling better. Got a little flu up there. But the cool thing about this upvote is that about a year ago, they were having about a 70-30 split TV to digital. In this most recent campaign, it's about a 50-50 split for TV and digital. So we're seeing that's a pretty dramatic change.
Yep.
And it's a really fun campaign, and it's focused around some of their stars and ambassadors, but it's also focused around just kind of the athlete within all of us.
Yeah.
And so great creative. Go ahead and take a look at the spot real fast. So hopefully you like that.
Soccer, man. I love soccer because I'm one that thinks the
ballet.
World Cup should happen every 2 years, not every 4. Nah, Memphis Depay, man. Manchester United. Although,
Oh, you're going to do the Manchester one? Okay,
right,
we'll probably have to cut out that part.
We'll jump back into this one. So UnderArmour jumping in the soccer game, right?
Soccer, gymnastics.
Yeah, I mean,
basketball,
Steph Curry
everything.
is probably the biggest face.
Lindsey Vonn.
Lindsey Vonn's another one. But actually, you know, the profile in Business Insider on Adrienne Lofton, I saw her speak at Adweek. Brilliant executive with a lot of really good ideas. So it's no surprise that UnderArmour is doing as well as they are. It's kind of funny to hear a $4 billion company call themselves an underdog, but I guess compared to Adidas and Nike,
Sure.
They certainly are.
Founded by Terps, so
founded by Terps.
How can you go wrong? Great week, thanks.
Great week. Go Qs.
Hope everyone's loving digital life and
tweet at us. #Digital Shoptalk. We'll see you next time.